Today in Taipei, justice is served, as a woman is sentenced in a shocking poisoning case that rattled people across 2 countries. Hi, I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett here in Taipei. All right, let's set the stage for this one. A Taipei court has sentenced Yang Qin-ping to 11 years and 2 months for the attempted murder of an Australian exchange student, Alex Shorey. Alex, a university student from Australia, was studying here in 2023. Prosecutors said Yang poisoned him with a superwarfarin-type rodenticide, a long-acting rat poison that thins the blood and makes it hard to clot. The court said she poisoned him on 3 occasions, starting in March 2023, after learning he planned to return home. By mid-April 2023, his symptoms were severe. His dad flew in that month to get him back to Australia, and in May 2023, he returned there for more treatment. The court called the acts premeditated and egregious, planned in advance, and really serious in nature. Yang denied doing it and even accused prosecutors of fabricating the case, but the judges sided with the medical evidence and the timeline. Proving intent in poisoning cases is tricky because the act can be hidden in food or drink, and symptoms can look like other illnesses. Here, the diagnosis of superwarfarin poisoning and the repeated exposures were key. That's something to chew on, huh?
That's so wild. Yang also claimed the rat poison was for her own use because she missed her late husband. Hearing that just stopped me cold. For me, the heart of it is simple. A young student got gravely sick, and the court found a clear pattern that pointed to intent. Justice matters here, both for Alex and for every international student living in our city who trusts the people around them. Real talk, superwarfarin is not something you stumble into. It takes planning to obtain and administer. So yeah, this sentence sends a message about accountability. Okay, let's move on. The Taiwan FDA says all remaining untested samples of Central Union Oil's cooking oil from April to June have now passed inspection. Central Union Oil is a domestic producer, and earlier testing found 7 out of 30 samples with excessive benzopyrene, a carcinogen linked to things like charred foods and smoke. In plain terms, a cancer-related compound you do not want in your cooking oil. That discovery triggered recalls and oversight. The company was fined 165.2 million new Taiwan dollars for failing to report the tainted oil quickly. Now the FDA says those still untested batches have been checked and cleared. At the same time, an independent team is digging into how contamination happened in the first place. The government is drafting amendments to tighten the Food Safety Act. Think stronger self-inspection rules for companies, better lab management so tests are trustworthy, and sharper enforcement so delays carry real consequences. Affordability and trust in staples like oil are part of daily life here. This is about keeping our kitchens safe.
Yeah, that checks out, but the initial contamination still raises eyebrows. 7 out of 30 failing is not a blip. Why did it take so long to surface, and why wasn't it reported right away? We don't have those internal answers yet, but that fine tells you the delay mattered. I'm down for tougher rules on timely reporting and a clean digital paper trail, so if something goes wrong, alerts go out fast in public. Speed is safety when it comes to food. Speaking of which, Taiwan's 6 major municipalities are backing tougher Food Safety Act amendments after this oil scandal. These are the big city-level governments across the island, including our neighbors and us in the capital region. At a cabinet-level meeting led by Minister without Portfolio Chen Shih-chung, mayors and deputy mayors talked through changes focused on source management, process oversight, and digital governance. Quick definitions. Source management means tracking raw ingredients from farm or import to factory. Process oversight means tighter checks during production. And digital governance is using unified data systems to log, trace, and audit everything in real time. Kaohsiung Mayor Chen Chi-mai suggested classifying food businesses by risk level so higher-risk operations get more frequent inspections. Taichung Mayor Lu Xiao-yen pushed for broad consultation across ministries so the rules don't create blind spots. The quick alignment from local governments kind of blew my mind. It shows how central food safety is to public trust here.
Let's unpack that a bit. Classifying by risk means you spend your inspection energy where problems are likelier: large-scale oil refiners or complex supply chains. Why does digital governance help? Because when the data is centralized and time-stamped, it's harder to hide delays or quietly blend tainted batches. And yes, wide consultation matters. You want health, agriculture, economy, and local agencies synced up so the rulebook is both practical and tough. Switching gears just a little, a defense analyst named Chie Chung is warning that China is testing new gray zone tactics near Taiwan. Gray zone means pressure moves that stop short of open conflict. Think constant probing to wear down readiness. The Ministry of National Defense says Chinese military aircraft, 5 naval vessels, and 6 government ships have been operating around our defense zones. One helicopter flew roughly parallel to the Taiwan Strait median line, the unofficial halfway line the two sides generally avoid crossing to keep space between forces. Chie says we may see joint use of helicopters and drones, possibly a prelude to training for air assault scenarios. In plain English, coordinated flights that test our responses without firing a shot. The advice is to watch for patterns. If this becomes routine, it adds strain and raises the risk of miscalculation. It is pressure by presence.
Yeah, that's a solid point. It's a reminder to keep situational awareness high without overreacting. Why now? Likely to signal capability and probe our monitoring, but we'll stick to what's confirmed. The key is steady tracking by the Ministry of National Defense and clear communication so people here understand what's happening and what's not. No stress. Vigilance is the name of the game. On to the next thing. New Taipei, our big neighbor just across the river, is rolling out free school lunches starting August 2023. This covers all public and private elementary and junior high students, about 323,000 kids. The plan is not just free meals, it's also a push for healthier eating with locally produced organic ingredients and a clean plate campaign to cut food waste. Teachers and staff will get monthly stipends to support nutrition education and meal quality. The city is also adding support staff and easing teaching loads so schools can actually implement all this well.
I love that angle. Free access plus better nutrition plus less waste. That comprehensive approach means fewer hungry afternoons and more focus in class. Looping in local organic producers keeps money in our regional farm economy while giving kids cleaner ingredients. That's the heartbeat of it. Smart design, backed by resources. Thanks for being with us on Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett, reporting from Taipei.
Have a great day, stay curious, and we'll catch you tomorrow.